Om. Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Parthaya Pradibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitaamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Anusantadami Bhagavad Gita Bhavatveshinim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Navidusura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Verse number 26. Mukta sango naham vati dhrutyutsaha samanvitaha siddhya siddhyor nirvikaraha karta satvika uchyate ragi karma phala prepsuhu lubdho himsatmako shuchihi harsha shokanvita karta Rajasa parikirtitah. Explaining the attitude of people in action. And we are all people of action only. As human beings, we cannot keep quiet for even a moment. If it is not physical action, it is a mental action. Even if a person, as you all sitting there, and doing nothing actually, but you are listening, I hope. If you are not listening, you are thinking or worrying, planning, right? Or blaming for whatever has happened so far at home, or what you are planning to do the rest of the day. And if at all in between, you may probably in a shout you listen, or you may be very attentively listening. Whether you are doing a mental action or a physical action, you are an actor. Actor means karta, the doer. So Bhagavan here has said, in this, there are three categories based upon the quality of thoughts predominantly pushed by our latent tendencies. It can be Sattvika, Rajasika, or Tamasika. As we have seen earlier also, those who have Sattvic knowledge, they will think and do in the Sattvic way. And those who have Rajas so much in their body, desire, ambitions, achievement, success, they, according to that now knowledge of dividing oneself from the world, wanting to acquire, enjoy, prove, become famous, wanting everybody to know who I am. So accordingly, the action will be. So also the third category, where my whole intent is to indulge, be lazy, let everybody work for me. And the knowledge of such a person is what I say alone is true, everything else is untrue and immaterial. Holding on to one passionate idea which has no logic or reasoning, and such a person, how does he act, also is going to be spoken. So Bhagavan has said, in the case of a Sattvic person, it is Mukta Sangaha Anahambadi Dhriti Utsaha Samanvidaha. Detached, but at the same time very productive, with a great enthusiasm and determination, and having a complete balance over Siddhi Asiddhayoho Nirvikaraha. Mind is not disturbed by the success or failure, as we saw in the case of Sri Ramachandra, who was told one day that you will become the crown prince. The next moment he said, you go to forest for 14 years. The mind of such, or the face of such a Purushottama did not even move a little bit. He just smiled and said, yes, I'm ready for it. Siddhya Siddhyo Nirvikaraha Sattvika Karta Saha. Such a person is Sattvic Karta. So one would ask, Swamiji, there is no fun in that. Face is changeless, always in the neutral form. We must have that oscillation. That's what we like. When it is anything successful, you just jump and then open a champagne bottle and splash it on everybody. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. The problem is you go to the one extreme, you are very likely to go to the other extreme also. To some extent, moving from the neutral is okay. But if you go to the utmost extreme, your part is not ready to face the failures. That's what happens to our youngsters when they are given all that even before they ask. Our parents are Indian parents here in this part of the world are so afraid of their own children also. Even before they ask, they give, so that there is no disappointment. I don't want to see my face, the child's face. Of course, very sad at all. When that child, the boy or the girl, when they become independently there in this world, they will be bombarded by all the things. They should be ready for such possibilities. No, so far they are with me, they should be happy. Don't make them weak. So, a person who is ragi, karma phala prepsuhu, lubdaha, himsatmakaha, ashuchihi, harsha shokanvidaha, karta, rajasa parikirtidaha. Rajasic knowledge leading to person to become a man of so much of raga. Raga means attachment to things one wants to achieve. And always karma phala ipsuhu, seeking the result out of every action favorable to oneself only. Lubdaha, lobhi, greedy. Himsatmakaha, for the sake of achieving what one wants, he is ready to even cause mental or physical injury to other person. Himsatmaka. Ashuchihi, impure in the mind for being so egoistic. And harsha shoka anvidaha, is a victim of his own excitement and sorrow. Karta, such a person is rajasaha. parikirtitaha. Rajasa karta. So who is tamasic then here? Next verse. Ayukta prakrita stabdaha. Shato naishkriti kolasaha. Vishadi dirga sutri cha. Karta tamasa uchyate. Ayukta prakrita sabdaha. Shato naishkriti kolasaha. Vishadi dirga sutri cha. Karta tamasa uchyate. Ayuktaha. Ayuktaha means one whose intellect and mind are divorced. What his buddhi says, he will never listen. What his knowledge or the information that he has gathered so far out of one's own experience, he is not giving any importance to that. Even in spite of experiences which are otherwise, he will engage in those things which are painful. Ayuktaha. Vishaya apahrita chittaha. Mind, he is so caught up in the immediate enjoyments of life. Even though one has faced failures or one has faced pains in the past as a result of what one has thought about or worked on, as we have seen, anubandham, kshayam, etc. Meaning, whatever be the consequence, he never thought about it. Whatever be the loss and the pain and the exertion, that is his jnanam is like that. Not thinking about the consequences. Immediate pressures alone are important. So, that's a person, ayuktaha, prakritaha. Prakritaha means balasamaha. Like a child. When a child is, moving around in the middle of the road, suddenly runs, you have to grab that fellow out. You don't think. The cars and others will come and hit you. So at that moment, the child is reactive. The ball is there, I have to go. It doesn't matter what comes with it. Is it not? That is bala samaha. Not thinking. Not thinking in the sense that what I need now is to be got right now. This is where people get into addictions also. At the present moment, if I enjoy, that is all that matters. So, Bala Samaha, Prakrita means so grossly rooted. Prakriti means gross. Prakrita means one who is very lowest level of understanding. Not having any mind which had become mature, which maturity is not there in that mind. And such is the case of those, because in today's world, we have seen some of the kids or teenagers engaged in online games, etc., going to the dangerous levels of even committing suicide. Because they have no maturity or the ability to think and decide is not there correctly. They don't want to listen to the parents also. They do not want to listen to anyone. They say, I know. So even like a child, it's crying for petty things. Prakrita. Stabdaha, adamant. Stambha means like a pillar. Stabdaha means like a pillar, not ready to move, not ready to change, not ready to adapt. Adamant. Obstinate. And then he says shataha. Shataha means ready to cheat others. Do things which will probably nobody will notice, so that I will get what I want. So shataha, cheating, and then naishkrutihi. Naishkriti means malicious, scheming, planning in such a way that I pull the plug when nobody is there, or I would do things which are even very well known in the world as wrong, malicious, scheming, calculative. Calculative in the sense, mainly for my own purpose. I am ready to take anybody for granted for my own personal wish. Such people, such is the person who is a tamasa karta. And when such a person who is doing such kind of ways of getting things done, he naturally becomes very despondent. Vishadi. Vishada means sorrow-stricken, sad. Vishadi. Meaning atruptah, asantushtah, incomplete or dissatisfied, discontent, despondent, unhappy with oneself when things are not happening, and this leads to depression, dejection. Then you keep blum, 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 blum. You know, on the other day I was watching one ad was there in the, about medicine. And for this depression and dejection, etc., there is a new medicine that has come. I am not prescribing to you. It's called Pravochan. I read it as Pravachan. Pravachan suno bhai. Then you will not get desperate and despondent. It is called Provocan or some Pravachan. They call it Pravochan. I said, wow, Pravachan karne se, Pravachan sunne se, sab मिट जाता है. Why not? So despondent. And the next one is Gurudev's favorite, Dirgha Sutri. Sutra means a rope. Dirgha Sutri means a long rope. What does it mean? Anything you tell that person, aaj nahi, kal. Never is interested to do anything that will improve one. He will postpone it to the maximum possible. That's called Dirgha Sutra. Is it not that when we say somebody is not doing the right thing, we say, give him more time. Give him a longer rope. What does it mean? He'll take time to do it. And such people would not act on anything, even if you tell them 100 times. Gurudev used to give the example. His brother-in-law is such a case, One person's brother-in-law like that. He says, hey, why are you sitting down doing nothing idle? Why didn't you apply for a job? Who gives me job? Unless you get up and look for a job, nobody will come and knock at your door and give the job. I saw in today's newspaper, there was an opening there. Why not you apply for that? Where? In a newspaper. Which newspaper? It is there inside, next to the TV. Go and pick it up. Can you bring it? Here. Which page? Look for the appointments page. Opening classified. Usually in which page it is? You don't read newspaper? No. Okay, it is on the 3rd page. Which column? I have marked it for you. Oh, okay. Yeah, I will apply. So those times it is not the email, etc. So you have to literally write it down. So this fellow goes to office and comes back evening. Asking, did you apply? For what? I told you there is an opening for you, then there is, you qualify for that. And here, I showed you that. Yeah, but I didn't find a paper and pen. Here is the paper, here is the pen. Right. What should I write? You write that this is your qualification, you want to apply for it. Right. Then what should I do? Put it in the mail. Can you do it when you're going on your way to office? This is called Dirgha Sutri. You understand? Couch potato. A person who is never taking any steps to become better. Everything should be done for him by others. Such a karta is not even karta actually. He doesn't do any action. So, Vishadi Dirgha Sutri cha karta thamasa uchyate. He is called a tamasic person. Swamiji, actually my second one is like that. First one somehow managed to become like me. The second one, exactly like my spouse. I won't say mother, husband or wife, my spouse. How many 100 times I say the same thing? So, ayuktaha, disintegrated, unsteady. Prakritaha, very gross. And stabdaha, adamant. Shataha, cheating. Naishkritihi. Naishkritihi means doing everything for one swarthi. Only for myself. Alasaha, that one we forgot. Alasa means lazy. Not only physically lazy, mentally lazy. Think, why should I? Everybody is thinking, why should I think? Alasya bhava, alasi. Vishadi, despondent. Dirgha Sutri. Dirgha Sutri means one who is procrastinating all the time. Such a karta, tamasa vichyate. Bhagavan gives us the different shades of the personalities for us to know where we belong. Don't look at the next person next to you and comment or judge. Do I have such kind of qualities? If that is the case, we have to change from the knowledge itself, not just action. Look at what is your basis, because our actions are based upon our understanding. So if my understanding is wrong, my action will also be wrong. The attitude towards action also will be wrong. So in the next page, I have given you the chart. First one is knowledge. Sattvic knowledge is awareness of the oneself in all beings, undivided presence among the variety of beings. Rajasic is perception of only the diversity of beings based on birth, caste, color, culture, etc. Tamasic is fanatic view about one's own faith or idea without any logic, considering it as complete and exclusive. This is the different kinds of knowledge people possess. Sattvika, Rajasika, and Tamasika Jnanam. Then action stemming forth of such people. Sattvic knowledge leads to engaging in duties without attachment, love, or hatred, and without seeking personal results. Whereas Rajasic Karta is engaging in desire-driven actions with ego and putting forth intense efforts to achieve the results. Here, intense effort means futile, intense but futile, not properly directed. Tamasic one is engaging in action without thinking about the consequences, loss, hurt, ability to complete, etc. Actor. Sattvic actor is one who enthusiastically works with the determination, free of ego, attachment, and unaffected by success and failure. A Rajasic actor is one who is greedy, harmful, desirous of results, and becomes happy or sad as per success or failure. And Tamasic Karta is one who is a trickster, cruel, adamant, lazy, dejected, and procrastinates in his work. This is how Bhagavan Krishna classifies knowledge, action, and actor. So, so much elaborately, at the end of Bhagavad Gita, he wants to make sure that his knowledge, his communication to the world, his message to the world is clear, so that for all times to come, human beings can get guided by the proper ways of doing from his own teaching. Now, next slide says, transition from action to actor to Atman. The final goal being to reach this actionless being, actionless presence. The consciousness, which is the very source of all our being, substratum of everything, which is referred as Atman. So, from the action to the actor to Atman. Triple A. So cause of action is not the world, it is the desire born of ignorance of one's own self. We should not say action is decided by or caused by the world outside. We must understand all actions are born out of our own desire. And the desires are born out of incompleteness, unhappiness, unfulfilled, not content, not at peace with oneself, not able to rest in oneself. The mind is running here and there looking for things. So that is the ignorance of the higher self. So, due to constant dissatisfaction with oneself, one seeks to find contentment through acquiring desirable objects or companionships. This seeking results in constant activity. Where there is no happiness, we do not act on it. Where there is no possibility of achieving what we want to desire, what we desire, we don't act on it. When I say every day at least one Bhagavad Gita shloka, please read. Why? What does it give it to me? Because you do not see immediate result out of that very action. Therefore, even if it is you are told, you don't act on it. Unless you see substantial, tangible result coming to you. So, desire is always looking for immediate fulfillment. And therefore, seeking results in constant activity. While engaging in actions, one does not realize that the discontentment will never be overcome by possessing inert objects or any companionship. They are only momentary fulfillment of the desire which are unappeasable by nature. At least the objects do not react to you, but people change. Their attitude change, their behavior would change, their preferences, their priorities. Then you get disappointed. Oh, I thought you were the best company for me. No, I found somebody else or something else. Because they are their own life. If you think your children will be always there waiting for you, they have their own things to take care. Everybody would change. So if you are depending upon them for your happiness or any other things, even object for that matter, discontentment will be the end result. Not that you should not have such relationship or the objects around you, but do not overly depend upon things for your happiness. Find the inner peace and contentment in yourself so that your disappointment will get reduced. And if your inner peace is established, then you do not need external company to make you happy. In fact, you will be the giver of happiness, not a beggar. Gurudev always said, don't be a beggar of love or happiness. Be a giver. Shifting the focus from action to actor, the individual soul. Question the motive of the action. Is it desire or responsibility? This is one thing which action we do, act we must. But think about it. As an individual, I need to engage in this world. Is it because of a desire I'm engaging, or I understand that as my responsibility? And this is what Bhagavan Krishna has emphasized from the chapter 2 onward to Arjun. Hey, Arjun, remember, you have to act, no doubt. But understand this, your action should be out of your understanding that you need to do and you alone can do. Therefore, you do it. It is called kartavya. Not because you are going to get anything out of it and because of which you need to do. If that is the case, you will be definitely sad at some point of time. If it is desire, then shifting from the action to the actor is difficult. Because your focus is on what do I get, what do I get, what do I get, what do I get. You are not able to shift your attention from the action to who is doing it. That inquiry doesn't begin. That turning around will not happen. That insightfulness will not develop. For so no desire can be fulfilled without constant identification with the five constituents, including the ego. As we've seen, Adhishtanam, Karta, Karma, Karanam, and Cheshtaha, and then Deivam. These are the five constituents which makes an action complete, and one get attached to all these things, forgetting about the very purpose and the very goal, which is to be free. That cannot be achieved at all if the desire is what is prompting that actor or action. If it is a responsibility, on the other hand, not the actor is acting out of desire, but knowing that it is my responsibility, then one can still do the best and detach oneself from the ego. Actions can be done as an offering to the Lord without anxiety about the action and the results. This is to move from action to the actor. Meaning, I act based upon understanding of this to be my responsibility. And that understanding, realization, leads one to engage in actions in a detached mind, and only to make sure that even in the midst of action, I am at peace. I am focused. And do the best, leave the rest. And even as I do the best, the result of the action would be decided by not me. For I have dedicated the action to the Lord, and He will take care of it from there. From the actor to Atman. Next. Through the guidance of the Guru and scriptures, one understands that the true nature of the soul, the self, is actionless. Only the ego and the body are engaging in action. Prompted by the vasanas, body, mind, intellect, the BMI is engaging in action. Just like the light that we are able to enjoy here at the present moment in this hall is because of the current or the power. Power's presence alone is there, because of which the bulbs are able to emit their nature, light. Similarly, the nature of the body, mind, intellect being what they are deriving their power from the presence. But that one does not engage in any action at all. So, recognizing the most divine, quiet, peaceful, motionless, still presence, that presence, through the guidance of a guru and the scriptures, one comes to recognize that even while engaging in action, one can remain as the self, the witness of the five constituents of actions. Just as you can watch the inhalation, exhalation of breath that goes on without your intervention. Is it not? Do you have to intervene when you are breathing in, breathing out? Just simple example of observing your own incoming, outgoing breath is happening in your body, even if you are not paying attention. But you can choose to pay attention. Right? When you pay attention, does it stop? When you don't pay attention, does it stop? Or because you are paying attention, it is happening? When you don't pay attention, it is not going to happen? No. So too, the actions will continue. That is according to the karmas of the past. You cannot stop it. But when I recognize that this is going on based upon what I have done in the past, where there is no interference in those actions with desire. A Mahatma also acts in this world very well knowing that these actions are taking place based upon the momentum of the past, not because I want it. The desire to do is less and less while observing what actions are going on in the body with a constant attention, as this is happening based upon my actions of the past. Prarabdham, according to Prarabdha, this goes on. Let it happen. So that is the shift from actor to Atman. So at this point, I want to interject here at this to make sure that you are not losing the main attention. The main attention or main purpose of Gita is to reach that point of Atman, the self, while he is explaining knowledge, action, actor, etc. Only when the needle is in contact with the record can the gramophone thunder forth its tone. Only when the ego is in contact with the mind can the individual be propelled forth into the channels of his own vasanas. Gurudev very beautifully had given that example. Only when the needle is in touch, there is sound. Otherwise, in the same way, when the ego is present, and then only there is so much of noise here, of noise of the vasanas. Continuing, Bhagavan Krishna says, I have two more things I have to talk about. We'll have more also, but I am going to base upon the Sattvika, Rajasika, and Tamasika. I have to divide. Earlier he said knowledge. Jnanam Trividam. Sattvika, Rajasika, and Tamasika Jnanam. And Karta and Karma, he said. Now, Buddhi is also three types. Buddhi means the way you understand. Intelligence is also three kinds. So therefore, and also determination, which is how do you execute what you know? How do you apply your knowledge? That is called dhriti. So buddhihi and dhritihi. In that also there are three types. Verse number 29. Buddhir bedam dhriteschaiva. Gunatas trividam shrunu. Prochyamanamasheshena. Pratatvena Dhananjaya. Buddhir bedam dhriteschaiva. Gunatas trividam shrunu. Prochyamanamasheshena pratatvena Dhananjaya. Oh Dhananjaya, oh winner of the wealth. One who is not an ordinary person. Arjuna had won great battles and brought so much of prosperity to his land. So he is not a person who is useless, a person who is good for nothing. But he is one who has done so many things in this life. So addressing him, hey Dhananjaya, buddhehe dhritescha bedam gunataha trividam. Gunataha, according to the gunas, according to the qualities of thoughts that you have based upon the impressions of the past. Gunataha trividam, three types. Buddhehe dhritehe bedam. The difference in gunas, difference in the buddhi, the way the mind or the way the intellect understands, and the way you are determinations. Some people will have correct understanding, but determination is not there. Wanting to get that thing done based upon what I know. The dhriti, constancy of purpose. Gurudev very beautifully puts that. Consistently engaging in. That's not there. January 1st, resolution you take. January 2nd, dissolution takes place. Why? Dhriti hai nahi. Determination is not there. Constancy is not there. Consistency is not there. Regularly, when you do things over a period of time, it becomes part of your personality. Then afterwards, you will not leave it. Prochyamanam, to be spoken. Asheshena, fully. Pratatvena, and clearly clarifying their differences. Shrunu, listen. Listen to that which I am going to speak about very clearly. About how buddhi also, the ability to understand also changes according to the moods. Swamiji, when I come here and listen, everything is very clear. The moment I step out, it goes off. Why? Yeah, we have special certain pointers here. Some special devices we have kept here. When you enter in, everything gets into your head. It's not that. Because you know the purpose why you have come. When the purpose is clear and you are focused on that, then your mind gets tuned to that. If you have to consistently keep that purpose, that is called dhriti. So here, buddhehe vedam dhriteschaiva gunatah trividam shrunu. Even a person who is very intelligent, no doubt, when the tamas or rajas predominates, obviously to that extent, there will be a compromise in the understanding also, or an execution of that understanding. That's why December 31st night, even if you are a very intelligent, very smart fellow, when the liquid spirituality gets into you, isn't that true? Tell me why. Why? Even if you are the smartest fellow in the land. So, obviously, according to the mood, so will be the understanding and application. So here we will start with Sattvic and Sattvic Buddhi. What is that Sattvic Buddhi? Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha karya karye baya baye bandham moksham cha yo yaveti buddhissa partha sattviki pravrittim cha nivrittim cha karya karye baya baye bandham moksham cha yaveti buddhissa partha sattviki. Ya buddhihi veti. That intellect which knows what is pravritti and what is nivritti. It's a technical word in the Vedantic context. Literal meaning is pravritti means engagement, nivritti means disengagement. But here in this context, when it comes to adhyatmic jnanam, we are looking at spiritual knowledge. In the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment, one needs to know what is pravritti and what is nivritti. It is not engagement and not engagement. Pravritti means karma marga. Nivritti is jnana marga. Because karma is basically either to achieve the desires which are to be accomplished in this life or in this world, or even Bhagavan Krishna comes to say that it also, pravritti also means all the yajna yaga, the karma a person does to achieve heavens, etc. You go to a temple or go to a priest or Satyanarayana puja and these are all pravritti. Why? I want to acquire punya. I want to acquire merits so that I will go to different Swargadi Loka and there I will sit there. Pizza. Come. Enjoy the dance of all these Apsara, Urvasi and all these. In the idea of this heaven, I mean, I'm just exaggerating it. But what I mean is effortlessly enjoying the pleasures of not even the worldly pleasure, but the heavenly pleasure. So, pravritti is where not only one who is not only about experiences in this world which can be achieved through rituals, etc., according to the Vedic knowledge, or those which can be achieved through yajna yagadi karma beyond this world also. Pravritti. Nivritti is sannyasa dharma or jnana marga, where individual recognizes their impermanence, recognizes their temporariness. Whether it is the worldly achievement or achieving various different worlds of experience. So, very clearly, Bhagavan Krishna earlier itself has said that there are two paths available to everybody, path of knowledge and path of karma. So these two are, they are viparite vishuchi. In Upanishad, they say they are two different paths. One should not mix up these two. While कर्म करते हुए भी ज्ञान को हम प्राप्ति कर सकते हो, but practice नहीं होगा. वह क्यों? Because your mind is predominantly getting into the karma. So these two are clearly known. Ya buddhihi veti pravrittim cha nivrittim cha. The path of action leading to more and more action only. The path of knowledge leading to the inner presence and inner self and abidance in that. So these two. Second, he says karya akarya. When it comes to the worldly things, what is my kartavya? What is that I need to do? My responsibilities, and what is not that? This clarity also, one who has that buddhi is sattvika buddhi. As over a period of time in our own life also, what we have been doing 10 years back or few years back, now you see that that is not needed anymore. Or I have grown beyond that. Not that I hate it. I've grown beyond that. It is no more necessary for me. It is not that every Friday I have to go for a party. Or every end of the year I have to go for what? As I said, consuming spirituality through liquid form. Not necessary. I can be better off by meditating than doing those. But I have been doing whenever. Now it is not necessary. Not because you are old, not because you have started to hate. No, not for me. So also, the responsibilities in my life are more and more focused on what is necessary to be done for my own growth and immediate help to others, than adding more and more into my plate unnecessarily. 55, 60. Dog chahiye. You. Why are you adding more responsibility which is not necessary for you? Company. That is the only thing which looks for me. Getting caught in that. So adding more unwanted responsibilities. And such an individual who karta akarta. What is karya akarya? Sorry. Karya akarya. What is to be kartavyam? What is akartavyam? Dharma and adharma. Dharma means adrishtam. Meaning, when you say this is a meritorious dharmic action, you do not see as a constituent of that action. You understand this is not part of the action, but this action is dharmic in the sense it has a adrishtaphalam. Adrishtaphalam is adding purity to yourself. That is dharma. In this context, it is that which adds more purity to yourself. Adharma is that which makes more negativity to yourself. Not the action itself, but the impressions that would be created in your mind, which will eventually disturb you when you sit quietly. Dharma, adharma. So, karya, dharma, adharma. So that in the form of bhaya and abhaya. Bhaya means that which I do, knowing very well this will cause only negativity to me, so that I know what is bhaya, what should not be done by me. And abhaya means having done which my mind becomes much more free of impurities and negativities. So, pravrittim cha nivrittim cha karya karye bhaya abhaye. And finally, what will lead to bandhanam? What will lead to moksha? Bandham moksham chaya veti. What leads to more bondage? Samsara, entanglement, rebirth, suffering birth and death. And what will release me from this endless cycle of birth and death, endless cycle of joys and sorrows, endless cycle of oscillations of the mind. Bandham moksham chaya buddhi veti sa satviki buddhi. So this way Bhagavan clarifies the understanding also is sattvic by nature. If one is able to recognize all these, that's why pritatvena, clarity. I just say this is it, this is not. This is it, this is not. This buddhi is sattvic, this buddhi is not sattvic. And even in that buddhi, the clarity about right and wrong, good and bad, appropriate and inappropriate, engaged, disengaged, fear and fearlessness. That clarity is there in the mind. Such a buddhi is called sattviki buddhi. So more of it we'll see in the new year. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.